10 surprising stories about Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is one of the world's most well-known presidents. He's also one of the most concerning figures. Putin has invaded neighboring nations, suppressed journalists and free expression in his own country, and appears to have established total control of the area in recent years. As his clout grew, a slew of interesting stories about him surfaced. Aside from his public profession, Putin has led a life that no one could dream for. 10. Putin's prolonged lateness. Pope Francis made his first trip to Russia in 2013. He was going to meet Vladimir Putin there, but something unusual occurred. Pope Francis sat and waited for 50 minutes. Putin finally came after a nearly 1-hour wait for the Pope. This isn't a one-off occurrence for Putin. Journalists claim that Putin is frequently late for press conferences and other public engagements. Putin appears unconcerned about anybody he encounters, no matter how powerful they are. Putin held Secretary of State John Kerry hostage for 3 hours in 2012. He arrived late for a visit with Queen Elizabeth II in 2003. Putin will be late even if it is completely unacceptable. He was 2 hours late to a meeting where mourning parents of children murdered in an aircraft tragedy were waiting for him. According to reports, he's kept high-ranking officials waiting for up to 4 hours. During the invasion of Crimea, this was the situation with Ukraine's president. Putin disrespected the president even more by spending much of the time chatting to a motorcycle on the street while he waited. He's not just late in his personal life. When they initially started dating, he was often late, according to his ex-wife, which drove her to tears. So, why does Putin act the way he does? Some believe that he does so as a calculated form of psychological manipulation. Political commentator Dmitry Abramov explains Putin's behavior is born of a desire to demonstrate that he occupies a Tsar's place in world politics, as in the heyday of the Russian Empire. Essentially, Putin wants to give the image of being in complete control. 9. Putin may be the richest person on the planet. Putin is Russia's most powerful person. Therefore, it's only natural that he has a higher quality of life than the typical Russian. Despite this, he looks to have a staggering personal wealth of $200 billion. Bill Browder, a former Russian fund manager who has turned a Putin opponent, came up with that figure. Putin, according to Browder, has built a financial empire that would make him the world's richest man. Putin's claimed net wealth is more than double that of Bill Gates. To put things in perspective, even still, there are people who accuse you of cheating. Putin declared a yearly salary of only 3.6 million rubles in 2013, while Putin's supporters maintain that he lives a respectable life. His net wealth was estimated to be $40 billion in 2007 and $70 billion in 2012. So, where does this riches come from? Putin allegedly owned 37% of the oil business Surgutneftegaz and 4.5% of the natural gas company Gazprom, according to Russian political expert Stanislav Belkovsky. However, most of the assets Putin is said to hold are almost impossible to link to him. Consider it this way. As Russia's leader, he has the authority to utilize any assets he sees appropriate, even for his own personal advantage. Despite these allegations of suspected corruption, the majority of the Russian population has remained unconcerned. 8. Putin's palace. Aside from any financial wealth, Putin's $1 billion estate on the Black Sea coast has been revealed. It started off as a simple summer house, but it has now grown into a modern-day castle. Images of the palace, which were first seen by satellite, revealed a huge marble complex with gardens, a private theater, and 3 helicopter landing fields. The question of how all of this was paid for was quickly raised. The solution, according to a former Putin associate, it's a lie deception and a lot of smoke and mirrors. Sergei Kolesnikov, a Russian exile, said that Putin and his associates devised a plan to modernize Russian hospitals. They were able to persuade a number of Russian oligarchs to donate to the project, and they utilized the funds to acquire medical equipment. This was done at a reduced cost to Kolesnikov's firm, and Putin instructed him to spend the savings in offshore ventures without informing the donors. Some of the funds went to the shipbuilding sector, while the majority went to Project South. During the building of the palace, Kolesnikov claimed to have been with Putin as he discussed security arrangements. He never attempted to defend the palace. He just thought that he was entitled to it. Even still, the mansion is shrouded in mystery. Officially, the Kremlin asserts that it had no involvement in the palace's construction or ownership. However, records reveal that Vladimir Kozhin, the head of the Department of Presidential Affairs, approved the mansion's construction on state-owned land. If that wasn't enough, the estate was said to be secured by both Kremlin security and private guards. The security firm, on the other hand, denies this, stating that they purchased Kremlin uniforms and identification cards for their staff. 7. Putin's married life and divorce. Putin announced his divorce from Lyudmila, his wife of over 30 years, in 2013. Many others were surprised since they had no idea he was married. Only the Russian elite and Western media were aware of the union's specifics. Putin had been pictured with his wife, but few people knew who she was. Vladimir and Lyudmila became the subject of rumors, but none of them were flattering. Some speculated that Lyudmila was compelled to enter a convent. Others said she had been poisoned or murdered. Putin's marriage, in any case, was unlike any other. Putin was branded a philanderer and abuser during his KGB days in the 1980s. As a result, it appears that Putin's marriage was doomed from the start. Lyudmila sobbed when Putin was named Boris Yeltsin's successor in 1999 because they rarely each other. The Putins have 2 children, both of whom were adults at the time of Putin's divorce announcement. Putin was rumored to be seeing someone else before the divorce, but Vladimir and Lyudmila announced their separation willingly. The most fascinating detail regarding divorce in Russia is that if a couple divorces, they must share their money 50-50. Was Putin's split going to be based on his modest income or his multi-billion-dollar fortune? 6. Putin drank a national treasure of Ukraine. There was international outcry when Putin initially invaded the Ukrainian territory of Crimea. However, given permission to annex the land, and he soon gained total authority. The people of Ukraine were understandably enraged by this, but it was what Putin did next that upset them the most. He drank a 240-year-old bottle of wine with disgraced former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, a national treasure in Ukraine. Putin traveled, visited the Masendro winery, which claims to boast the world's greatest collection of wines. After claiming control of Crimea, he and Berlusconi drank a bottle of 1775 Years de la Frontiera given to the region by Count Mikhail Vorontsov during Catherine the Great's reign as Emperor of Russia. While this may have appeared to be a friendly diplomatic gesture, the previous Prosecutor General of Crimea did not view it that way. In 2014, he launched a lawsuit against Putin, claiming £60,000 in damages for the bottle because of the state of circumstances under Putin. It is unclear if Ukraine's issue will receive any real consideration. However, Berlusconi's travel to the region, according to Ukraine's foreign minister, was in violation of EU laws and hence unlawful. 5. A Super Bowl ring could have been stolen by Putin. Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, visited Russia in 2005 and met Vladimir Putin. He was said to have given Putin his Super Bowl 39 ring there. For many years, this was the official version, but Kraft ultimately decided to reveal the truth about what happened to his $25,000 legendary ring. Putin took it. While meeting with Putin, Kraft showed him the ring. Putin then took it and said, "I could kill someone with this ring." When Kraft attempted to reclaim the ring, Putin slipped it inside his pocket. He fled after being encircled by 3 KGB agents. From there, the narrative just gets stranger. The White House then phoned Kraft and ordered him to give Putin the ring as a gift in order to maintain good relations with the United States. Kraft agreed. But it wasn't until 2013 that he revealed the press the whole tale. Soon after, a high-profile figure got involved. Senator John McCain called Putin out and asked that he return the ring.
No.
Putin denied taking the ring, but said he would replace it. Rather sarcastically, Putin said, "We will ask our enterprises to craft a really good, noticeable thing, so it is clear that it is expensive, made of a good metal, with a rock, so that this jewel is passed on from generation to generation in the team whose interests Mr. Kraft represents." According to the New York Times, the ring has been kept in a part of the Kremlin library dedicated to official presents. 4. Putin the musician. When Putin was in St. Petersburg for a charity event in 2010, he stunned the crowd with his musical abilities. He walked up to a piano and began playing with finesse. Then he seized the microphone and performed in flawless English the classic American ballad Blueberry Hill. Celebrities like Sharon Stone and Kurt Russell were in the crowd, but no one had ever seen the supposedly stone-faced leader in such a vulnerable light. Putin modestly acknowledged his piano talents. Despite his brilliance, like an overwhelming majority of people, he said, "I can neither sing nor play, but I much like doing it." According to his press agent, Putin learned the lyrics to Blueberry Hill as part of his English language studies. There have been other occasions in which Putin has shown off his piano skills. While meeting with a boys' choir, he sat down at the piano and said, "I don't sing too well, but I try to play. I'll start, and you sing along." He began to play the song Moscow Windows while the choir sang. After he finished, they cheered him. 3. Putin's anti-food crusade. Putin launched one of the strangest public campaigns in history in 2015, a boycott of European goods. In St. Petersburg, French cheeses, Polish apples, and other foreign delights were gathered and burned. Officially, The food was destroyed in retaliation for countries boycotting Russia following the invasion of Crimea. Many locals, though, saw a more terrifying similarity. St. Petersburg had been the scene of a horrific Nazi invasion, during which many inhabitants were hungry and resorted to extremes to get food. Many elderly residents of the city recall the difficult days during the siege, and many expressed their displeasure at Putin's wasteful exhibition. tKnow started an online petition to get Putin's decree overturned. The petition had already received over 285,000 signatures by August 2015. The consequences of the food devastation are already being felt. According to tKnow, inflation is on the rise, and rising food costs are pushing more people into poverty. The Kremlin recognized after the outrage that the public food destruction did not look good. However, they claim that the food was smuggled and hence had to be confiscated. 2. Putin's love for American literature. In 2011, the world was watching to see if Putin would be re-elected to a third term as Russian president. Of course he did. Surprisingly, Outdoor Life was one of the few Western magazines to get an interview with him at the time. Many people have seen photos of Putin hunting or horseback riding, and his interview revealed that he is an avid sportsman. More intriguingly, Putin confessed that American literature is his preferred reading material. Only Jules Verne, of the 3 authors Putin named, was a European. The other 2 authors were Jack London and Ernest Hemingway, both from the United States. Putin revealed in an interview with Outdoor Life, the characters depicted in their books, who are brave and resourceful people embarking on exciting adventures, definitely shaped my inner self and nourished my love for the outdoors. Putin, on the other hand, stated that he favored Hemingway's non-hunting works, For Whom the Bell Tolls, A Farewell to Arms, and The Old Man and the Sea are among Putin's favorites, rather than joyful adventurers. All of these stories feature gloomy, wounded individuals. Putin also characterized U.S. Presidents Theodore Roosevelt, who was known for his daring, and Barack Obama as masculine. Putin's conversation may have been a publicity stunt, but his appreciation for American authors seems genuine. 1. Vladimir Putin is an animal lover. Putin has earned a reputation as Russia's leader for being ruthless, icy, and probably criminal throughout the years. Putin, on the other hand, is a self-proclaimed animal lover, which stands in stark contrast to this picture. Hundreds of photos exist showing Putin interacting with animals, ranging from his beloved dogs to tigers and polar bears. So, does Putin truly enjoy animals? Or is this simply a ruse to make him appear like a kind guy? According to University College London's Jan Kubik, Putin is attempting to convey 3 meanings with his animal images. First, he tries to set Russia apart from the rest of Europe by displaying himself riding a horse naked. He portrays himself as a logical guy and a strong beast. Furthermore, he portrays Russian men as macho as compared to effeminate European men. Second, Putin is attempting to demonstrate that he is not a cold-blooded tyrant. Finally, Putin is proving that he can be friendly yet harsh, and that he can tame wild creatures if necessary, using photos of calm but aggressive animals. Putin's personal website devotes a large portion of its content to his work with animals, including endangered species like the Siberian tiger, polar bear, white whale, and snow leopard. Putin is the head of the board of trustees of the Russian Geographical Society, which works with the majority of the country's species. Which story about Putin surprised you? Let us know in the comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.
Please like and subscribe.